Welcome to the Diary of a Dragon Priestess, and my name is Yolandi. And today I am quite excited to speak to you about this share that dropped in for this week. So if you have been with us before, or maybe this is your first time listening, this is a space where I share things that come up, messages, intuitive hits and guidance, and a lot of experiences about my own journey. And I wanted to speak today about listening to our bodies and going deeper and actually changing perspective. Okay, that sounds like a lot, I know. But it dawned on me when I started thinking about what am I going to talk about this week that I really need to speak about this. So I'm going to start and share with you a little bit about what happened with me over the last 3 months, I think, 3-4 months. Yeah, maybe a little bit longer. But anyway, so after I came back last year from Greece in October, I didn't feel well at all. I was just like, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on. I'm so tired. Everything is just feeling really heavy, literally dragging myself through life. And then I was like, maybe there's something wrong. I think I need to maybe just go to the doctor. And I went to the GP and I got some blood tests done, and they saw that there was some stuff going on with my liver. And I was like, okay, so I've always had a problem with my liver since I can remember. It's a long history and stuff with liver. And also, which is always really funny, is I am a manifestor in human design. And, one of those things that people talk about is the liver is linked to anger. And then the not self theme for manifestors is anger, right? And obviously, as this was happening and I'm exploring this, I'm just going, oh my goodness, go immediately to my trusty Louise Hay book. And again, message about anger, Chinese medicine, message about anger. And I was just like, okay, I'm not really angry about much at the moment. So what's going on? And I thought it was really interesting because, the books say, and the learned ones and the wise ones say this, and something in me just went, yeah, but, right? There was just something in me that was like, I get it. And I mean, sure, we all get pissed off and stuff, but this feels different. This feels so, it doesn't feel like anger, but I need to figure out what this is. And so I spent a lot of time sitting with my body, asking her what's going on, what do you want, speaking to my liver and listening. And so I've done a lot of journeying into my body. I've sat with my liver, and anger wasn't the thing that I got guided to. And so what was happening with my liver on a physical level was that my liver wasn't able to process everything that was basically coming through it, right? So my liver needed support. It needed help in processing what was wanting to come through, getting rid of the toxins. And basically, if you can imagine a sponge getting fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller, and now it's just going, I can't do this anymore. So there's no life force energy for you. We need to do something. And thank goodness I listened, because these things can always go wrong. But when you can't get out of bed in the morning, it kind of makes you think, I better listen, right? And so what I realized during my chats with my liver, and I know this sounds weird when I say my chats, but you'll understand what I mean soon. But when I tuned in and I asked the question, and I asked, what is it that my liver wanted? It really became clear to me that this part of my body where things flow through, it was getting stuck, right? Like it was getting stuck. It didn't have enough support. I was subsequently then diagnosed with a few conditions and stuff, which also made sense. But I mean, there's always an emotional reason behind everything, right? And I realized that what my liver needed was support. She needed gentle. She needed slow. She needed this real sense of being held and observed and listened to. And it wasn't anger, but it was, for me personally, it was about that process of digesting things in life and swallowing things in life where I didn't speak my truth. I didn't process my emotions properly. I didn't let life flow through me. I didn't let my emotions flow through me. I kept stopping it. So just like my liver sponge vision that I had, that's what I was doing. So everything was getting trapped inside of me because I had no idea how to actually process things and start to work with it, right? And because I've been doing such an extensive amount of research into the body since the beginning of 2024, and having studied somatics and regenerative alchemy and all of those type of things, I was just like, oh, okay, so what if I focused on allowing myself to really get into the space where I let things process through me as it happens, right? So if I'm feeling frustration or anger or sadness or overwhelm or tiredness or whatever it is, I need to let it process through the sponge of me. And so it was really interesting for me, because the more I started to experiment with it, the more it made sense. And what my liver wanted was support. And obviously, I was guided to a beautiful physician that then helped me with the right supplements and all of that. But it was that, like, also being held, being supportive, doing things slowly, because my liver was like, we've been going too fast. We've been running up a mountain. Can we stop? Can we take time to rest? Can we actually not overwork? And all of those things that I spent the majority of my life doing, right? So my point is that if I was in that space where I opened the books or Googled or spoke to ChatGPT, whatever you do, and I just went anger, I wouldn't have gotten anywhere. And this whole movement and consciousness that is waking up at the moment for so many of us is that we need to return to the wisdom of our bodies. Okay, we need to return to conversation, to relation, to collaboration with our organs, with our skin, with our muscles and our blood and all of these things, right? And the feelings that we have and the niggles and the pains, and because everything is wanting to talk to us. Your body basically is like a massive chatty Cathy, okay? And I love it because it's got so much to say. It's got so much that it wants to share. And yet we have been hyper-fixating on mindset and mantra and, spiritual channeling and all of that. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's almost like the universe is calling us, society, what's happening around us, the world, like the shit show that is like our environments where we live, all of that, is calling us back to the space of like internal, right? Internal leadership, internal sovereignty, internal rebellion, basically. And where we can start is that we can start by listening to our bodies. Now, if I had just gotten, okay, well, it must be anger because that's what they say, like I wouldn't have gotten to the point now where I was able to be guided to solutions, to softness and gentleness within myself, to a supportive, partnership with my own physical being. And so sometimes, as much as I love all the wise people out there, we have to turn back to letting the body speak to us, okay? And those boxed in ways of doing things. It can only be this, Yolandi, and I'm like going, fuck no, this doesn't feel right for me. These things are all important. So what I wonder for you today is if you actually sat and tuned into the niggle, the pain, the irritation, whatever your body is trying to communicate with you at this point in time. Like, what is it trying to say to you? And not what you Googled or what you found out from someone else, because there's a layer much, much deeper than just the superficial, not superficial, I mean, that's the wrong word, but you know what I'm saying. It's that place of like, there's a depth, there's a nuance to you personally that no one else, no book, no teacher, no one else can understand, because you know how you've been treating your body. You know how you've been living your life. You know what you've been doing on an emotional level. You know how you've been, avoiding this, or like over explaining there, or people pleasing on that side, or, letting yourself be overruled by others. You know all of these things within your heart. If you are truly in that space of not lying to yourself anymore, what would your body say to you? And I thought to myself, my little devil year, my devil tarot year last year really showed me about, the bullshitting of ourselves. Like, where am I lying to myself? Where am I not really listening to myself? Where am I not taking enough care of really understanding why am I feeling like this? And so what if 2026 is a beautiful opportunity for you to step back into like deep body wisdom? What if it's an opportunity for you to step into that space where you lead yourself? Because what is so important at the moment, and what is, when I tune into what do I want for the world, I want more people to listen to themselves. I want everyone that I know to be in this space of sovereignty. Everyone that is around me in the world, I want them to know that they can really lead themselves. And sometimes we forget that this is it. Sometimes we forget that this physical body will scream you back to sovereignty if she has to, right? This body will kick and shout and throw everything back at you until she can have that conversation and say, this is what I need. And if you don't get still, and if you don't stop, and if you don't listen, what's going to happen then? Because for me, it took me a long time to stop and listen and really go in, because it was literally at the point where it was like, if you don't start to listen, you are not going to get out of bed again. And so I was forced to listen. And it made me realize how important this is. And hence my obsession with going, please, can we all start doing this? Because otherwise it might go horribly wrong. So I feel like it's really time to start exploring your body. It's time to start to connect and be guided by this amazing wisdom that is right there. Like, just put your hand on your heart right now. Take a moment, just feel your heartbeat, right? Like all of it is there. And once we start to play and ask, we can be guided. Okay. So I thought I'd just share that. So if you are still just looking at the top level, take a moment to go deeper. Take a moment to drop. Take a moment to stop and really go in and see what is the truth. Is it the truth, what you are reading online or in books? Or is your body going, not so sure, it doesn't feel right for me? Okay, because you are the wisest one. You are here to guide yourself. And may this year be a year of guiding yourself. May this year be a year of, investing time and devotion to listening to yourself. Because like riding a bike, my favorite saying, we have to start somewhere. And even if it takes some training wheels in the beginning and, you know, a lot of like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure. But the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And now it's one of my favorite things. After months and months and months of sitting with it, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know how I ever lived without this. I don't know how I didn't make this part of my practice, my daily practice before. But it is part of my practice, and it is something we need to speak about more. And so here I am. Right. So just take a moment today just to really stop and feel, you know, what's happening inside of you, and have a real quiet moment. Because at the end of the day, and I will never stop saying this, is that our soul speaks through our body. And when your body is also in a space where, like for me, the safe I feel within my body, the bigger my reach to the realms become. The thinner the veil becomes, the more magical the synchronicities and the soul guidance becomes, and everything turns into magic. And so that is all possible. Okay. So also just keep an eye out in the next few weeks. I will be sharing more information about my new experimental sessions called Activate Your Body Oracle. And that will be an opportunity for you to work with me and help yourself and guide yourself and learn how to listen yourself to your beautiful body. Because I feel like my real mission for 2026 is to help as many people as I can to step back into that space of inner guidance. Know thyself. Beautiful. Okay, so may you have a glorious week, and let's see where this takes you. Go and play around and see what happens. And who knows? Okay, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Ariabase la Shiamrasa.